It's just like babysitter props. Hey guys, it's May and welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since I've done a book writing video because I haven't been doing any book writing in like 3.5 months. Like literally, I think one of the only times I wrote this semester was when I was staying with Abby's family at the hotel, and in the morning I was like, I just got a really good idea for my book, so I'm gonna go to the lobby and write. Like that was it, except like a couple other times when I'd randomly like read through a document and change one thing, or like write a couple sentences or something. But like I knew that was probably gonna be the case. Like I don't blame myself at all because like I just wanted to like experience Paris and whatever, and I was like scared that I was gonna get like the idea for another book and start writing that, and I did get the idea for another book, and I'm so mad because I was like, oh, like why is this happening? It was like forming in my mind and I was just like, stop. Like turn it off. No, like this can't happen. I don't know, I talked about Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic, in another video, when she talks about like inspiration visiting you. Like sometimes you have to say like, no thank you. So like, it's hard because like if I wanted to, I could have sat down, I could have outlined those characters, and like, I put it in my like book ideas document where I have like just a whole bunch of like, you know, 1-paragraph summaries of like ideas that I have, so like it's there if I ever want to write it, but like I just knew that I like should not be starting another project. But I did start a short story. You know, it's not related to the book idea. I thought that was like better, it's more manageable. I usually don't write short stories for fun. It's like kind of weird. I started writing one last Christmas break, and then I started this one because usually I don't write them if I'm not writing for class. But anyway, I have a lot of writing goals this summer that I'm going to be talking about, but that's my number one probably, is to finish writing that short story. It takes place in Europe, obviously, so I was in Europe when I wrote it. Oh my gosh, I just like can't stop thinking about it. I was like writing it in my head sometimes, but I like hardly ever got a chance to like sit down and work on it. So I'm finally gonna write that dang thing this summer, and I'm gonna try to submit places and get it published after hopefully like having a couple like friends read it or something and give me feedback, like Jillian, hopefully. Because like that's pretty easy, it's just like a short story to read. And then I might work on the one from Christmas, but I don't know if I'm really gonna do anything with that one. And then I wrote out the rest of my goals on my phone. We've got a lot of stuff to do this summer. I have summer school for 6 weeks, and then I have 6 weeks off. I'm gonna be going home twice for a friend's wedding and then for my birthday, but otherwise I'll just be having like free time unless something else comes up, because I decided not to work this summer so that I could really focus on my summer program. I'm gonna be learning how to teach English, so I'm a little nervous, but anyway, that's for another time to talk about. So yeah, basically I just want to write a ton this summer and like get my crap together with my books because I'm gonna have so much time, but I feel like I need to like have a way to hold myself accountable. So I think what I'm gonna say, I'm kind of doing the same thing with going to the gym, so I don't know, this might end up being too much while I have school, but then afterward it should be fine, is I'm gonna say writing 30 minutes a day during the week, which is Monday through Thursday, and 2 hours Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then that might be too much. I don't know, I might have to scale it back to like 1 hour, might miss a day here or there, because has some outside online work stuff, so I don't know. I'll probably do a couple update videos to like tell you guys how it's going, but then after my program's over, I can like really buckle down and like spend more time on it. So anyway, after the short stories, my other main goals are to do a second draft of my first book, because I have like chapters 1 and 6 I took to my novel class, so they're like pretty finessed. They're like a bunch of stuff was changed and added and taken out, and they're good, but the rest of the book just has so many problems because I wrote it at different times in my life, so the writing style changes and it's just a mess. And I mean it's not a mess, okay, it's a finished draft, but before I even go into it, I need to make a list of like things, because I have them spinning around in my head, like things I know need to be changed or like woven in somehow. And I also just really need to talk to Jillian because there's so many issues with like, I was gonna write a sequel and now I'm thinking that I'm not gonna write a sequel, but then if I don't write that sequel, it makes things not quite make sense. There's like something that sort sort of needs to happen in the first book if there's not gonna be a sequel, and I don't know how to do it. So hopefully Jillian can help me with that. Otherwise, maybe when I take directed studies in spring, sorry, we can figure that out. So yeah, that's hopefully gonna happen. Just wanna go through it and fix stuff. And then another goal, this one's a pretty big one. They're all pretty big, but I have a lot of time. I am going to try to finish a rough draft of my spring break book that I started spring break of my sophomore year. So it's literally been over a year, and like I think I've said this, but I've never written so much so fast. Like I was just so inspired and I like wrote so much, and I love this story. They're like probably my favorite characters that I've ever written, and probably my favorite story that I've ever written. And like just every time I go back into the document, I am just so discouraged because I will just read parts and I'll just be like, this is so cheesy. Like there are parts that I really like, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like there's so many issues and like so many logistical issues because there is a child involved in this story, and so there's like childcare problems. There's so much of it revolves around babysitting. I'm giving you guys way too many hints, but anyway, it's just like babysitter problems. I don't even know. And it also takes place over the course of a semester. And I have not yet actually sat down and said, this happens during this week, blah, blah, blah. So I'm pretty sure that if I actually did that, it would be longer than a semester. And I sort of don't even want to do it because I don't want to know. But then I also don't want to write it, taking like way more time and then have to change everything. I'd say that that book is like, it's on its way to being a full draft. Like almost all scenes are started, but there's like a lot of stuff that just hasn't been worked in yet. And when I say a rough draft, I mean a rough draft without a rough draft without the flashback scenes, because every chapter except chapter 1 is gonna have like a scene in italics before it that's flashing back to another time in the main character's life, but I don't even want to deal with that, so we're just gonna make that an issue for another time and just do it without it for now. I just need to get past the like cringiness and just write the dang story, because if I write it I could change it later, but you can't fix something that's not there, you know what I mean? Okay. And then my second book, meaning the second book I ever started, is at 32,000 words I think right now, and I'm gonna try to get it to 50,000. That book's also sort of just in a bit of a mess. I have a problem where I feel like I just have like too many characters and like I don't really have any sort of an outline. That book takes place over summer and then fall semester and spring semester, so it covers a lot of time, and I feel like I have the summer part worked out really well, but then I don't really have any sort of outlines for the semesters, and it somehow needs to like be cohesive and flow into a book, and I don't know. So that's that one. And then for the book about that main character's best friend, like when I say a book's a hot mess, like that book is like that's the one that has the most problems right now. Like every time I go to write it, I'm just, I can't look at it because I don't really have that much of it written. I just have like some loose sketched out outlines. My goal is not even to write it, but just to get a game plan, because it's like this weird time jump thing where it's not in order. And so I don't know why I do this to myself. Like the chapters just like aren't in order, and it like jumps to different points in her life, but it all has to connect. And so I just need to plan it out so that I can write it. I guess like I could just like give up on these books, but like I shot myself in the foot because they all overlap. There's like characters that overlap in these books, especially in that one, because she's the best friend of the main character in the other book, so their stories are completely interwoven. And then the best friend, the hot mess book, is in the spring break book. They go to the same school, so it's just a mess. They all have to be written, it has to happen. And then, as you guys may recall from other book writing videos, there was this book that I started over Christmas break of my sophomore year of college, and I felt like I couldn't write it because I didn't have enough information. Like I've never written a book on something that was like not my experience that much before, because this book is largely based off of other people's experiences, not mine. But like the people that it's based off of are not people I can talk to about it. It's really complicated, but basically I sat down with one of my friends. It was last week. She like visited me after I got home from Paris, and I was like, could you help me with this? Because she's someone who could give me information, and she helped me with it, and she's gonna like be open to me asking her more questions and stuff, because like it's just hard because I really have to get into this character's mind and like make it realistic. And it's really hard for me to do when I have when I'm not in the same type of life. Anyway, but I'm just so grateful and happy that she's able to help me with that. She's literally like the perfect person to help me. So I'm gonna try to outline that book, you know, do a little something on it, a little bit. Maybe write a scene or two. I don't know. I've like started like the first scene. That's all I've done. And then my study abroad book, I thought that I'd be more inspired to write that when I got home from Paris, but now I'm just looking at it even more hopelessly because as much as I really like the story I was writing, now I have to like go back and fix everything because of stuff that wasn't realistic. And there's that whole problem with the way I was writing it because there was gonna be like a part 1 and a part 2, but like the story wasn't gonna be good enough. It was just part 1, but part 2 is like full of plot holes, and it's just, yeah. So that book and then my third person book, which I'm still very much invested in, are just gonna be like, if I have time / if I'm like bored of the other books or just don't want to write them, we'll just work on that. But I'm not setting any specific goals for them because my third person book is in no way related to any of my other books. There is like no pressure. And it's also, this is gonna sound weird, but I feel like if I ever become a published author, I'd have to publish that one under like another pen name or like significantly change the story because there's like part of it, so it's just too similar to one of my other books, but I still really wanted to write it. So I write because it's fun. This is taking forever. Sorry this video is so long. I'm going to share with you guys a song from the playlist that I have for my first book because I've never shared a song for that. It's hard because I feel like with most of my books there's like a song that sums up. But for that one I just have a lot of songs that are like for specific scenes, but I think if there was going to be a song that summed it up, it would be this one. Alright, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please share with me how your writing projects are going down below. I'll be back to check in a couple weeks to hold myself accountable and let you guys know how it's going. Please like this video and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.